Well, welcome back to the channel. It's Saturday, April, geez, I don't even know what we are, the 17th, maybe, something like that. Anyway, if I can get to my watch, but my watch is covered up. 20th, Jesus, the 20th already. So I just ran over to FUBAR Fabricating and picked up the fuel tank for the A4T. Spencer over there welded on a, that's kind of heavy, hang on, spin it around here so you can see it. All right, there we go. So he welded on a new bottom to this thing because of they'd had it on that shag carpet. Shag carpet holds water against metal is over a long period of time is not good. So anyway, welded it up. One of the things he found is somebody had used solder to fix before, and so as he was welding, the solder came out, so he had to go back and kind of clean those up and do a little bit of extra welding to seal those up. But he kept my drain hole here in the bottom, and then of course this is where the fuel comes out to go in. So what I need to do today, because Spencer is wise in his advice, is he said take that thing home, fill it full of water, and let it sit overnight. Make sure there's no leaks. If there are any leaks, bring it back. I don't think there are going to be any leaks, but let's do that before you get it in there and get a bunch of diesel in it. So I'm going to bring the jet out here in a minute. We're going to use that to move it around. I could probably lift it out of there, but I don't need to hurt myself today, so I'm gonna use the jet. Inside the barn, one of the other things I did this week is I taped off the letters on the note. This is an insert for the bubble nose on the 950, and so anyway, I taped off the letters. Today I'm spray painting the black on, and then I'll rip off the tape, and then I should have my perfect insert for the 950. I did have to do a little bit of repainting on this one because it sat against something and screwed up the paint there, so I had to kind of clean that down and fix that. And other than that, I did talk to Oliver Phil. He's working on the fuel pump for this, and seems like there was something else. Oh, the steering cylinders. So the kit that I got with the seals for the steering cylinders from Welter's was old, and some of the seals were cracked, but Phil took that. He was able to match those up, and so he's got enough seals to do one cylinder, which he was working on today as I was talking to him, and then he's got the other seals on order. But now he knows what seals it takes to seal those steering cylinders. Boy, that's like a Sally has seashells by the seashore kind of thing. So he'll have those. If anybody has leaky steering cylinders and you're not sure what seals to get with me, and I can probably hook you up with a kit to do that. And the other thing that I got this week, I'm gonna walk over to this side, is I was trying to figure out how I was gonna hold the batteries in. So put J hooks on here, and that's what was initially on, but the tray itself I must have rotted off at some point. So I got these plastic trays. I'm gonna kind of trim them around so they'll fit down there between the metal that's on there. Set my battery on that, put my J hooks, and then I've got a top piece that came with the battery tray. I'll put that top piece on top of the battery to hold the batteries on. That battery back there is still on the metal tray, but it had nothing holding it in, and I don't think that's probably OSHA approved or anybody approved. So especially this one I just had riding up there on the rail, and that probably wasn't wonderful. I'm gonna fix that. So, oh, don't trip over the ladder. The other good thing is I still have no antifreeze under this, so the radiator's holding, and that's good news. So yeah, we're making progress. The bad thing is I'm just found out yesterday, which is Friday, that I have to go out of the country for 10 days, leaving Tuesday, and I just found out Friday, and we're scrambling like crazy. So I'm going to lose 10 days of being able to work on this. I'm going to have to just get as much done as I can before I go, and then we'll get on it. But the good thing is when I get back, the fuel pump should be done. We should be able to like get this thing going in pretty short order. The other thing I did is I went to Napa today, and I got a inline fuel filter to go back here to go between the tank and the electric lift assist pump, so that any gunk coming out of the tank will go through that filter before it goes to the PIP assist pump. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fire up the jet, go out, unload that, and get it set up so I can fill it with water, check it, and then I'll probably put my heaters on it probably tomorrow after I drain it to cook any water out of it, and then I'll paint the bottom of it, and then we'll be putting it back in. Getting the jet ready here, and I'm walking around, and I happen to look down underneath the 302, and it looks like our aging German Shepherd left me a little gift. I'll have to clean that up. At least it's dry. Can't be mad at her. She's getting older, and that's one of the sad things about all of us. Well, I'm not there yet. I'm not leaving stuff underneath the tractors, but I'm just saying it's not going to be a good day because that's my wife's dog. Probably a little choke would help. Maybe a little more gas. Half choke. Oh. She's flooded. I readjusted the carburetor, and it obviously still needs a little bit more work. But I don't flood it when I start it when it's cold. Works off the 3-point levers, or the remote levers. Alright, set the brake. Brake is set. Undo the brake, because sometimes I forget to do that. I think I want to set this on concrete here, so that after it's full, if it leaks, I can see it. And I want to leave it up just a little bit so that I think I'm going to put some 6x6s under it. to hold it up while I fill it. And then, yeah, I think that'll work. Let me go get some 6x6s. So, by the way, the wind chime makes a lot of noise, but Mrs. Ohio MM thinks it keeps the carpenter bees away. The ones that make all those holes. Really, you want to know what keeps the carpenter bees away? These carpenter bee traps. If you don't have carpenter bees, you're lucky, but those traps work pretty good. So I just thought about it. Probably what I need to do is he probably took all those fittings out of the tank on the bottom, including the drain. I'm going to pull those out, Teflon tape them, put them back in, because I don't want a leak coming from there and then me trying to figure out if that's where it's coming from, if it's someplace else. So before I fill this up, I'm going to Teflon tape those and make sure that I have a good seal on those, and then we'll get this thing filled up. All right, so I actually pointed the tank a little bit towards the gravel, so when I open that to drain it, it will shoot out towards the gravel and not just on the concrete. And I got it filling. This is probably gonna take a while. I don't have to fill it all the way up. I only really need to go to the top of his highest weld. So that'll be in this area here, and then that will encompass all the areas where he made repairs, and it shouldn't be leaking above that. So we'll let this fill for quite a while. You know, I had a lot of people say to me, well, don't use water, you know, use diesel, and you know, bottom line is, they're like, well, rust, and I don't know. I mean, this tank had this, if anything else, this is going to help flush this tank out one more time. I'll put the heat on it right away. I will you know, getting heat on it, getting paint on it. I can then put some diesel in it, slosh it around before I put it in there to coat everything, or some Marlboro Mystery oil or something like that, and that should do the trick, keep it from rusting in there. So so far, hop down here, I'm not seeing any drips of water, so that is very good, or muy bueno in Espanol. Okay, I'm gonna let that thing fill up. All right, you guys are gonna get to be annoyed by these wind chimes just like I am. So far I've got 5 small leaks. There's a tiny one there, tiny one there, small one right in this area here, I'm not exactly sure where, tiny one here, and a tiny one there. Other than that, I'm not finding any leaks, other than, oh, that wind chime's freaking killing me. That's a little damp right there, and I'm gonna, he didn't weld there, but there's a slight leak right there. You can see as I dry it off, and then it comes back. So for all the welding that he did, and there might be another small one right there, for all the welding that he did, I would say that's not bad. But let this sit out here. I'm just feeling around, seeing if I can find any wetness, but I think those are the only spots that I found, and I've got it full up to about here, I think. So the other reason that I wanted to get that much fluid in there is it definitely, the weight of the water is simulating what it would be like if it were diesel, and smoke or anything else, air wouldn't show, you know, wouldn't simulate that. And that's not my thinking, that was Oliver Phil. When we were talking about this, he's like, the reason you want to use something with weight in it is because that diesel's going to have weight in it. So all right, I'm going to mark these other couple little spots, And then what I just did in here was I did put another coat of black on there, so that's done. Now, I worked on these battery trays and the hooks. So come back on this side, and I got the tray cut. I had to kind of cut it around where it goes here where the J hook goes. I had to do that on both ends, but it's in there. Got the hook in, got the tops on both. See, I didn't have to do anything on that one because they already had the metal, but I got that on. Batteries are secure in there. What I am gonna do is, they have these nice plastic caps, but I'm gonna take those off and do a little measuring and cut these down just a little bit so that I don't have so much sticking up on top of the batteries, because that's, I know my luck, and I will hook something on that and then end up tumbling and saying some words I probably shouldn't say that are not YouTube appropriate. So anyway, much better. Now just Phil will come over and we will do the battery cables. So a little bit of progress today. I'm not getting a ton done, but the fuel tank is it's disappointing. It's got a little leaks, but I'd rather find them now than later. Quick update on the tank. It sat all night. I just went around and checked. I guess the good thing is that wherever it's leaking from creates a little trail of rust. So there's going to be no doubt for Spencer where it's leaking at. So I don't see any new leaks, and the one thing is about all the leaks that are here, actually I did find one new one right there. That one I just happened to notice. That one's running. That one, I have those marked. I'll mark that one. I just filled this thing all the way to the top. You probably see the water in there. So it's all the way to the top. I just wanted to check, make sure there wasn't anything in the top part of the tank. I'm gonna let this sit for a while. But I mean, these leaks are also slow that there's nothing even, like the concrete hasn't even gotten wet. Like it's not making a puddle. It's just very minuscule leaks. But we'll find these, get these fixed, and then it shouldn't be a problem moving forward. So I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit. I'm gonna mark that other leak. And Oliver Phil's got my pump done, so he's gonna bring that over maybe tomorrow evening or Tuesday morning. We'll get that put on, and then you guys will probably be watching this video while I'm on a really long plane ride and be gone for a week and a half doing not so much fun work stuff. Okay, well, hopefully the next thing I'm showing you is when Oliver Phil's here. All right, another 15-20 minutes has gone past, and I'm not seeing any other leaks other than the ones that I've already seen, and I got this extra one marked over here that I hadn't seen before. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this thing drained, and then I'm going to go inside and put one of the heaters on it, and well, I'll put air through it. I'll do some different things to dry it out, but definitely want to get heat on it today to evaporate out any water that's left in it. So that's my plan. Oh, that's stiff. So I wonder exactly how long it will take to drain this whole tank just off that. It's 1:57, so I'll let you know how long it takes, because who knows? It's supposed to be 90 gallons. So I'm gonna guess it's gonna take a bit. All right, I used air, blew it out as best I could. Now I've got the heater on it. I just hit it with the thermal scope, or the, so you can find it, how hot it is. It's pretty hot, like you can't touch it, but hopefully that boils all the moisture out. The other thing I'm going to mention is Nick Ohio and Sam Ohio MM's mom and My wife just went to a concert, and I got a little gift today. So I got a gift from Nick and Sam. It's a nice little picture frame, and they wrote a little note at the top. But you got Nick and I, and try this again. Thank you, GoPro, for going dead always at the most in an opportune time. But anyway, had me and Nick someplace, and then as it went up to one of he and Sam's basketball games, and I got Nick in the A4T, and then him on the 302 propane one of the days he was here trying to hot rod my tractors and do donuts in the yard. And yeah, that's the kid that wants to do donuts in the yard on my tractor. But anyway, I really appreciate the gift. It's for maybe my birthday, but we're not going to talk about that. But I appreciate it, and I think it's pretty cool, and it comes out, and it will be out here with all the rest of my Moline memorabilia. So very cool present to get. I'm happy. That's pretty good. All right, that's going to be it for today. I'm going to go in. I need to pack a suitcase or start packing, and hopefully tomorrow Oliver Phil will come over and we'll get that injection pump on. I also had to show that Nick and Sam sent me cards, and Sam made a little joke on his about what is a farmer on a farm that's it's on tractors. Anyway, he's a good person. So and then he drew some pictures of tractors farming, and then Nick made a nice card for me too. So always appreciate the cards. All right, Oliver Phil made it over. Here's the pump after he's gone through it and cleaned it up, and we'll be putting it on there. He's getting the umbrella seals out, and we'll be putting that thing on here in a few minutes. All right, he's putting the umbrella seals on. This tube to protect it. And we've gotten the gotten all the seals in. Just put that O-ring on the end. It's got a new tube in there. So just getting things prepped in order to put the pump back on, because it does take a minute, and the biggest pain in all this I think is the umbrella seals, not rolling them. All right, I'm going to put the pump on.
And what you can do is, you got the slide here. You can look at the bubble all the way around on that one seal. Make sure it's in right. That looks good. So slide it in. All right.
She's on. And like that, we got an injection pump back on. We made sure it was the timing marks were where they were when we took it off, and so you should be good to go. We'll get it tightened up, and then I'll have to put on the lines. I don't know if I'll get to them today before I take off on my trip, but we will. Those will be pretty easy to put back on. All right, so I took a minute to put the lines back on. They're not secured because that's going to take more time than I have today, but at least I got them back up there semi where they need to be. I know that I'm going to have to do some finagling because where they're at on here I don't think is all correct, but I have that written down. But unfortunately, because I got to leave for this trip that I don't really want to go on, I am not going to be able to do much more on this until I get back in 10 days. So I'm frustrated a little bit because so close to having this thing going, like so close. So that is where I'm at. Oliver Phil's going to get the steering cylinders built while I'm gone. That's really the last part I need other than getting these lines back on here. He's going to make the new battery cables, but I can just start this without that. We were talking about it today. We'll get the leaks on the fuel tank fixed and then I'm going to have to paint the bottom. But what I can do in the meantime is I can just put a temporary tank back here, and I could start this thing and then check for leaks on all of my hydraulic stuff before I put the tank back in. So I think that's probably worth doing just to make sure that I'm good there. So, all right, hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. It's going to be a couple weeks before my next video because I'm not going to be around. But yeah, I'm enjoying this project. We're getting closer and closer. I'm really excited to see how it runs with the pump done. And again, if you missed it earlier in the video, appreciate Nick Ohio MM and Sam Ohio MM give me a cool picture here. So that's got a place of honor in the shop here. All right, until the next video, we'll see you then. And one last thing, I did get a whole order of dealer decals in for people. I got a whole bag full. And unfortunately, I can't get those sent out till I get back because it just takes too long to get everything done. So, gotta love unplanned trips. All right, see you at the next video.